in the trading or whatever you want to do. As long as you guys keep it fresh.
So every time we come to that bam, bam, every time.
My name is Roberto Serrano. ¿Empiezo otra vez? Ya me lo sé. ¿Te lo digo? Okay. My name is Roberto Serrano Cruz. I am from El Fuerte, Sinaloa, Mexico. I get in love with music completely. I'm in love with music. It's everything for me, love. In music. Music's for me. I'm in love with music. Music love, you know. I have no regrets. I try to do my best every day. If something is not okay, or I think everyone have the opportunity to be better, no? So no regrets. I met Adrian in a studio, in a Billy Town studio, and he liked the way I play in that session. And he invited me to enjoy the band, and I said, okay, why not? Let's try. And I really enjoy to play every song with these guys that are playing incredible, and I really learn a lot. Every night I play with them, I learn a lot. And I think this band is more my school than my band, you know.
My name is Eric Unsworth. Grew up in upstate New York, Potsdam, New York specifically, north of Syracuse, actually kind of near Montreal, Canada. I guess I was just kind of destined to go into music. My entire family got into music. Everyone that is close to me is in music, so I got into music too. All I could think about when I was a kid was playing music, thinking of being in bands and trying to perform. When I was a kid, I told my father I hated all his music. I hated all the classical music that he'd play. I hated all the jazz that he would play. And I tried to find music that he would absolutely hate. I mean, I brought home the Sex Pistols record just to annoy him, you know, Kiss and Aerosmith, whatever it took to get a rise out of him. But then, you know, as I got older, I realized that his way of life was what I wanted, you know, in terms of teaching at a university and the music that he liked. That's really what it got into my system, you know. The only regret would just be that I could have done more to get to the next level quicker. Didn't really get down to business with really getting my act together. I mean, like, it came together somewhat because I was always playing, but I could have taken a more direct path to the professional level. This whole band, I think, just came together sort of randomly. I mean, basically it was Adrian's, it's his idea who he wanted to use, but he started wanting to use me before he ever met me, and that was kind of interesting.
Well, my name is Ricky Malachi, and I'm originally from Riverside, California. You know, I basically was born there. I was a military brat and was brought to El Paso with my father being with the old Hawk missile at Fort Bliss. So I've been here long enough to where I feel that El Paso's my home. There wasn't a moment I didn't have drumsticks in my hand. And my mother would be sitting in so patiently in the living room, and she'd be grading her papers. She was a teacher, and she'd be working on her lesson plans. And I remember one of her co-workers came in one day and said, "You know, Juanita, every time I come over here, all I hear is that racket back in the back room." She, "How do you take it?" And she says, "Well, honey, as long as I hear him back there, I know where he's at." As far as back as I can remember, as a child, I've always enjoyed music, and especially drums. From a baby, I was known to be beating on something, some kind of pots and pans or boxes around the house. When it's really clicking and when you're really riding, it's a feeling that is really difficult to express. I wish I would have started a little earlier, I don't have too much to be, that I have regrets, because I guess you hear this all the time, but, if I had to live it all over again, I'd do it the same way. One of my greatest fears, not being able to play my music anymore. But I also have, a chance in life to pass the flame on to some up-and-coming musicians that are really great. So when you look at it as a musician, it's just not someone who's playing their instrument, going out performing for somebody. But every time that you play, you're touching somebody. And I don't think a lot of people understand that.
My name is Adrian Terrazas, and I'm from Chihuahua, Mexico. Yeah, the Latin American musician is born a musician. So I guess that's where it comes from. You're just born with it. Greatest fear, I guess, it's not accomplishing my dreams before death. So many, But the main one is, I guess, find my voice, my own voice in music. Which is musically finding your own self. Just put it this way, we grow up all our lives, practicing our instruments, with this dream, and we're gonna play for people, and we're gonna give them our art and make a living out of it, and then we find out that it's a little harder than that, just a little harder than that. I had this sound in my head for a long time, a lot of percussion, acoustic bass, and a bassist, no piano, no guitar, none of that harmonic instruments. About the band, the guys, it's weird, and it's funny because I start meeting these musicians, these great musicians. Basically, the whole thing about this project is that it's just a project of a bunch of musicians getting together and trying to find something new, learn from each other. I don't regret anything.
Vamos a empezar desde arriba. Desde arribota. Well, you know how hard it is to translate and then talk to you and then translate, then talk to you and then translate, then talk to you.
I know what he's saying. I can understand. He goes,
translating with 3 different languages. Hey, what's up? 1, 2.
We don't play the whole thing, but let's see.
No, just a melody. Just a melody at the beginning. 1, 2.